I'm Barrister Okere Kingdom. I am the convener, Lawyers in Defense of Democracy, and we are here today for our case against the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Works, and Seyi Tinubu, the son of the President of Nigeria, and high-tech construction company. It's a freedom of information and public accountability case we have filed against the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, asking that we should be given under the Freedom of Information Act details and documents evidencing compliance with the Procurement Act on how the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu are acting through the Minister of Works, Chief David Umahi, how they awarded the contract for the construction of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. And the matter came up today because of the terrorist cases that are going on. And again, the court is also on Easter vacation, and the matter has been adjourned to the 8th of June 2024 for definite hearing. So what we are in court to do is simple. This is an anti-corruption and public accountability case, and unfortunately, the Attorney General of the Federation, that should be the chief defender of the law in Nigeria, has rather detailed 6 senior advocates, to defend this matter. You can see the unfortunate, tale of how the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is, perpetrating corruption. You awarded a contract that did not comply with Procurement Act, that did not comply with due process, and we are asking for information that shows that you complied with the Procurement Act, and rather than ensure that the provisions of the Procurement Act in awarding contract is complied with, the Attorney General has rather using taxpayers' money, public fund, to hire 6 senior advocates to defend this matter. So that is what corruption is doing to this country. In fact, none of those senior advocates will be paid less than 100 million. So approximately 600 million alone. 6 senior advocates and 13 other junior lawyers defending a matter, a public accountability matter, where we are asking that due process of the law should be followed in awarding the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. And of course, we are alleging corruption. We are alleging that the son of the president, Seyi Tinubu, has interest in the company, high-tech, construction company, and over 15 trillion naira has been budgeted and spent in this contract. And of course, you even know that this contract is in phases. Not even all the entire contract has been awarded. So far, over 15 trillion naira has been paid or being paid, and part of it have been paid, in this fictitious contract. And of course, you now see when they make money from dubious, corrupt contracts, you see how they are now bringing out the money to sponsor, what they call palliatives, to buy vote, to warn Nigerians, to get our vote for 2027 election. And of course, when people rig themselves into office, or when they corruptly, induce voters or induce INEC to announce them winner, the next thing they will do is to award contract to themselves to recover the money they spent. Like the show of shame that you saw that happened in Owerri, the so-called Citi boys, that is being financed by the son of the president, Seyi Tinubu. You can see the show of shame that happened in Owerri. People like Obui Kubana or the other, and they call himself Kubana Chief Priest. You see how they are now bringing out the money. Over 30 billion naira was spent in that money, and these are the part of the proceeds of corruption. From this Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway that is awarded to a company where Seyi Tinubu has interest. So what we are saying in this country is that accountability, must be instituted. We are saying that rule of law must at all times be obeyed. And the provisions of the law must be followed to the letters, in awarding contracts, in spending public money. These are hard-earned taxpayers' money, for Christ's sake. And of course, even the government of Tinubu has passed new tax law that they intend to start punishing Nigerians by deducting our money, kept in the banks when they win the election, or when they rig themselves into, office, in 2027. And Nigerians are keeping quiet. You can't be expending taxpayers' money in awarding fake contract or highly inflated contracts. Over 16 trillion naira so far paid in a contract that not even the full stretch of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, and this company is awarded to this contract was awarded to a company where the son of the president has interest. That is high tech, where he's sitting as a director, in that company. And we are saying that we want to know exactly how the Ministry of Works complied, with the due process and the provisions of the Procurement Act in awarding that contract. And what we have seen, and what we have seen in court is that the Attorney General, that's supposed to be the chief defender of all laws, has hired 6 senior advocates to defend this law, to defend this matter. But we will follow it to a logical conclusion. We are saying that corruption in this country must be fought, and we keep fighting corruption as civil society, as lawyers, as human rights activists. We will keep fighting corruption. We will keep talking and we will keep advocating that the right thing should be done. We won't get tired, because this country belongs to all of us. All of us as citizens are one way or the other suffering from the devastating effects of corruption in this country.
So you said the case was adjourned